What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Yardwork. I'm your host, Yardwork Andrew, and today we got a real great episode coming for you guys. We're back on with Carson Lee, and we're doing a dual podcast, so it's going to be the Yardwork and Down in the Dirt podcast, and it's going to be good. Super excited to have Carson Lee back on my show, and super excited to be on his show. So, and that goes out for everyone who's listening. If you're checking us out on iTunes, make sure you subscribe to us, and you subscribe to Down the Dirt podcast. It's also on iTunes. And if you're checking us out on the Podbean app, make sure you follow us there. Also want to shout out our sponsors, Hit Factory Baseball and Baseball Lifestyle 101. And now let's get into the show.
What up, you guys? Welcome back to the Down in the Dirt podcast, where we are getting dirty talking baseball. I am your host, Carson Lee.
And I am Yardwork Andrew of the Yardwork. Sorry, I didn't know that was my cue to hop in. Dude, we practice this so much. And
yeah, dude. The listeners do not know that we just sat here and practiced this for like 20 minutes before we came on.
But the listeners don't also know how tough it is. When you're doing a dual podcast like this, you don't know when to step in, how to introduce each other, because we're both recording.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's tough.
Bro, it's okay because this is a collab podcast. And
yes, sir.
It's going to be freaking lit between us
Let's
two,
go
man.
Down in the dirt and the yard work. Dude, I'm super pumped. It's been way too long, dude, since we've been talking, because we had this whole plan to do a show after each Yankee Red Sox series. And when I told you that, it was still like a month and a half away from Yankees Red Sox. And I was like, it's going to go by fast. We'll be back on. In no time. And then it's 3 weeks later, and I'm literally itching to get another podcast in.
Yes.
And I had to wait.
Yes, bro.
But
damn, let's not forget, this is the first appearance you're making on my show.
Yes, this is incredible.
I've been on your show now 3 times. This is gonna be number 4.
Yes.
I'm as official of Yardwork Carson as it gets.
Yeah.
But now you're officially dirty.
Dirty.
In the trenches
dirty.
with me.
I'm a dirty Andrew, man. I love it, man. That's incredible. Dirty. I'm not Yardwork Andrew anymore. I'm Dirty Andrew. Oh my god, dude, that sounds like a stripper name.
Bro, there's gonna be so much laughing on this podcast. It's
Oh
not
my
even
god,
a
Dirty
podcast.
Andrew, man, that's amazing. That's amazing.
But
Dude.
yeah, so let's talk about this Red Sox Yankees series.
Yeah.
So the Red
Let's
Sox
do it.
The Yankees won.
What's
do next?
Let's do it, man. No, wait, I got more.
Okay, no, it's over.
No, sorry. I got a lot more to say, man. Oh, dude, the Red Sox, when I see the Red Sox bullpen, I smile. I smile when I see them come in against the Yankees. I smile when I see Chris Sale pitching against the Yankees, because what is he, 0-4 right now? Oh, dude, man. It's incredible.
I don't even know who he is, man.
It's incredible. What happened was, I believe it was a Brett Gardner grand slam.
Bro, honestly,
was that what
you
it was?
Guys should just be smiling whenever we walk in the stadium. It's so bad
I
right
think
now.
that's what it was. I mean, dude, this could have went, one or two ways for me. Either it's a real sad podcast or it's a real happy one. And for Dirty Andrew, it's a happy podcast. Because my Yankees won. A little 2-game sweep, got the broomsticks out. You know what I'm saying? Just sweeping you guys away. A little Jordan crying face picture over the Red Sox.
I got a better reference for you, man.
Let's
They
hear
got the yardsticks out.
The yardsticks out. I love it.
Yes. But yeah, man.
Dude, you're literally coming up with ways to bring down your team.
Start to the season, nonetheless.
Yep, nope, not a good start.
If you saying it nicely.
But you know what, though? It's also not a great start for the Yankees. I do have to put that out there. I mean, both teams
that's the thing with the whole
iffy.
division. It's completely upside down. I don't get it.
Right, and the Rays are looking good? What?
So
Tyler Glasnow,
I saw
4-0?
a stat last year, or a few weeks ago, that from last year, from 30 games into the season, I think it was the last 162 games they'd played, dating back to middle of last year or something like that. But their winning percentage was 70 or 80%, something
nuts.
just stupid.
Dude,
and
that's nuts.
they had won. Yeah, it was like 120 wins or something over the last however many games the stat was. But dude, that their pitching is number 1 in the league right now, and their offense is number 3, and they had the best run differential. So,
dude, but they have Tyler Glasnow, who's pitching insane. The guy was 1 in 1,000 his win-loss record when he was in Pittsburgh. He comes to Tampa Bay, and I think he threw yesterday. I don't know what happened, but up until his last start, he was 4-0, and the guy was throwing absolute gas.
Who are we talking about?
Tyler Glasnow, Rays
yes, and
Rays starter. I mean,
bro,
the guy's insane.
He has the nastiest stuff too.
And it helps to have him because you also have the AL Cy Young as your other guy, Blake Snell, who I do want to talk about because I heard he broke his toe.
He just went
moving
on the IL.
like a I think it was like a decorative stand in his bathroom. I have no idea what that means. But I mean, dude, you're the reigning AL Cy Young. Why don't you hire someone to move something heavy that you can't do? The guy dropped a sink on his foot.
I didn't even see the story. I just saw that it was a.
I didn't really see the story either.
Third toe or something like that.
I just saw it said broken toe, then in quotes decorative bathroom stand, and then I was like,
bro,
I don't know what that means.
I can't even lie, but with my own seasons getting ready to start and MLB starting it all kind of just happening at the same time, and with the Red Sox sucking.
Yes.
Just completely not even looking like a baseball team.
Yes, thank you.
I've not been that invested in the MLB, so my updates are a little late, needless to say. But yeah, all I saw was a broken third toe, and that was about as much as I saw. But it's one of those things, man. I mean, he's gonna miss starts here and there throughout the season to begin with. So this is more just he'll miss a start or two, and he'll come back, and he's still going to get his 30, 35 starts for the whole season. And if he keeps pitching like this, man, he's going to be back-to-back Cy Youngs. So,
dude, if you're a Rays fan and you hear Blake Snell's on the IL, and it's nothing to do with his throwing arm, then you should feel very happy. Unless it's like some freak accident where he tears an ACL or something, then obviously you're nervous.
Well, no, yeah, they should be happy because they have a 5.5 game lead over the Yankees.
And he's gonna miss one start.
Division, so they have a nice, comfortable lead.
Yeah, he's gonna miss one start because he dropped a sink on his foot or something.
Dude, that's one of those things where that's like your girls telling you, "Hey, we gotta decorate the house a little bit."
Yeah.
And you got to be the macho man and take care of it.
Where you guys are
really in that situation, you just got to take control and tell her, hey, we're going to hire someone to do this.
They're
my baseball career's on the line, and my feet cannot be broken.
He's like, dude, they're in Home Depot, browsing the shelves. Little does he know, she's like, ooh, honey, I like that one. He's like, yeah, that one's nice. He's thinking you think I can put that in myself? And he's like, yeah, I can. And it's or he's the first couple weeks or months they're dating. He's like, no, I got it.
Yeah,
whatever.
Trying to
drops it on his toe, and missing a game or two. And I gotta hear the rest of the story because it sounds pretty funny though. Not trying to laugh at someone getting hurt, but the story I think could be very entertaining.
You never know, man. She could be the one. So
so maybe it was worth it. Maybe a broken toe for a lifetime of happiness with that special lady. Maybe it was worth it.
Hey, happy wife, happy life.
That's a fact. That is a fact. And dude, you want to hear another crazy story? Actually, this one, Jabba Chamberlain, a few years ago, when he was back.
Pitching?
Dude, no, I have no idea honestly. But when he was on the Yankees,
years ago.
Yeah, it is a Yankee. When he was on the Yankees story, his son had a birthday party, and there was a bouncy castle, and he's like, yeah, I can do it. I'm gonna bounce. Breaks his ankle. I mean, come on. You're a major league player, and you're going to a bouncy castle?
National headlines.
Bro, I'm pretty sure it was pretty hyped. You know what, dude? We have technology. I'm gonna try to see real quick.
I was about to say the same thing.
Let me just see
a quick Google search.
Just a real quick Google search. It'll take 2 seconds. Jabba Chamberlain. I feel like my typing, my keyboard typing is so loud. Broken ankle. I look up broken ankle pops up. Let's see.
Yeah, it says he nearly died in a trampoline accident.
What?
Yeah, that's what this first one says. It's 2012.
But yeah, it's when he accidented a play area with his young son. And he was already on the comeback from Tommy John. I mean,
bro,
what a bad
He almost died from a loss of blood.
For real?
That's what this article says.
Dude, wait, loss of blood from a broken ankle? Does that even make sense?
Yes.
Who said it? What's the article?
The Business Insider.
Fake
That's
news,
the first one that pops up.
It's got to be fake news. Don't know if I trust it.
When Chamberlain was hurt, bone was sticking out of his ankle and he was bleeding profusely.
That is disgusting. I wish I didn't bring up his bouncy castle injury because now I'm gonna gag.
So many mental images right now.
So many mental images. If you guys are still listening, please stay on, please.
Just fast forward through this part.
But yeah, I mean, dude, but like going back to the Rays, we have numerous of episodes where we're like, dude, the Rays are looking sneaky, and obviously they are, because they are one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. And aside from their pitching, it's like you look at some of their field players, and they do not really have any stars in the field that I'm really thinking about.
No, man.
But they've been getting it done. Austin Meadows has been fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's like their biggest name they have is Austin Meadows, and he came over in the Chris Archer deal.
Yeah.
As the top prospect, because he was thought of highly in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I can't believe Pittsburgh got rid of him, to be honest. But they have Tommy Pham and Kevin Kiermaier.
Yeah.
But those are kind of established guys. But yeah. Austin
And when
Meadows
Kiermaier is healthy,
stud.
When Kiermaier stays healthy, he's a pretty good player. I mean, I know he was I think a Gold Glove a few years ago, but I mean he's been getting it done with the bat too.
Glove.
He was platinum. I mean, the dude's a great fielder, and he's decent with the bat when the guy's not hurt. But I feel like him staying healthy has been a little bit of a struggle the last couple of years.
And that's the problem too with the division now is really the Rays. I don't think it's so much with the Yankees, but their gap is just so big that, man, I really just don't know what kind of ground anyone else in the division can make up right now.
Wait, you're talking about the whole season? You're talking about the whole season?
Yes, man.
We got time.
Dude,
we got time.
They're up 5.5 games on the Yankees and 8.5 on the Red Sox.
Yeah, but what we still got? Like 140 something games?
But I think the pace that you have to play at to reverse that around and still win 90 games, because it's going to take 95 games to win the division.
Right.
So to play at that pace for the whole season, yeah, man, this season might be over before it's even started.
No way.
Especially if they can't figure it out, dude.
No,
dude. Price released an interview today saying that he thinks that if they don't turn it around, Mookie, JD, and potentially him could get traded.
That would be insane, dude. Insane. You have the team who wins 108 games, wins the World Series, one of the best teams we've seen in baseball in the last however many years, and now you're going to take away the MVP, another star DH, and arguably, I'm sure David Price would be an ace somewhere else, maybe on like the Mariners or somewhere. But a very solid number 2 guy, and you're gonna dish him out. I mean, that is insane to me.
Yeah, I can't see that being realistic, but that's the interview he came out with today. I'm looking it up right now, and it says that Dombrowski responded to the interview about him wanting the trade stars. Haven't read it yet though, but yeah, man, that's kind of the state of the clubhouse, if that tells you anything. But I don't get it. How do you go from being the best team in baseball to just falling flat on your face? And I kind of saw a glimpse of it in spring training, because they struggled in spring training this year. They were horrible in spring training, including their pitching. Their pitching was god awful in spring training. And the thing is, last year they were the best spring training team last year. I mean, I know that doesn't mean anything, but they won the Grapefruit League.
You say grapefruit?
And they go on to win 108 games, go on to win 115 games, and win the World Series. Or 19. I don't even know how many games it was total, 15 or 19. Someone listening is probably going to correct me and tell me I'm wrong, but
let him hear it, guys. Let him hear it. Let him hear it. His Instagram's Carson Lee 5. Give him a DM. I think you also said grapefruit, which I think you guys.
My speech tonight.
He's got to hear it.
My mouth's a little dry. I've been at the baseball field all day. I've been in the locker room, so I'm a little parched. My lips are going together. But yeah, dude, I just don't get how you go from being the best team all year and then just come out and fall flat on your face, man.
I feel like you're like
it started from the first game with Chris Sale just laying an egg.
Dude, I think you're just like a real sad Boston fan right now. But
I'm heartbroken.
As a Yankee fan saying this to you, I don't think it's over. I still think the Yankees and Red Sox are going to be 1 and 2 in this division.
Dude, that's a bold prediction.
I 100% think so. The Rays might not even be 3. They might be number 4. Nah, I'm kidding. They'll be 3.
No,
They'll be 3.
that's not gonna happen.
It's gonna be Yankees, Red Sox, Rays. Dude, I'm telling you.
My biggest worry is that just the way the Rays are playing. I don't know if the Red Sox can play at that pace for the rest of the season. To all of a sudden figure it out,
who knows?
Within a series, and then continue that for the whole season and get back to that pace, because it's going to take a 90, 95 win pace to win the division.
Right.
And
I agree.
I think whoever doesn't win the division is going to be in the wild card.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, I think the Yankees last year went on like a 21-4 run at one point. You know what I'm saying?
Was that in August?
I have no.
July sometime.
It was like I think it was like the June-ish. It might have trickled into July or whatever. But I mean that's all you need. You know what I'm saying? If the Red Sox go on a 30-5 game tear, 30 wins, 5 losses. It doesn't matter what the other teams do. That's probably going to be good enough to either have a big lead or take over the lead, and for the AL East.
It's not so much. I think the Red Sox news right now. It's actually more of. Today I saw an article that said, "Is this the end of Dustin Pedroia because he exited last night's game with left knee soreness, which is the knee he just had surgery on." And like we talked about on this show the first time I ever came on, dude, that's my guy.
Yeah.
So I think that's heartbreaking more than anything.
Yeah.
Because Nesson, the leading sports page in the Boston area, or maybe second leading, might be behind the Globe, I don't know. But, releasing an article saying he's done after 6 games, man, it's tough to read that.
Yeah.
That's my guy. So I think that's more heartbreaking than anything to know that his time in Boston might be coming to an end very quickly. And even if it's not, soon, it's definitely in the near time future because he is getting up there in age. And that's one of the reasons I felt so in love with the Red Sox, was watching that guy play every day. So to see that era end is going to be like the Big Papi era ending for everybody else. Because the Pedroia era is my era of Red Sox baseball.
And dude, what's like one of the people don't always understand is a lot of times when guys get hurt and they miss a very extensive amount of time, people are always like, can they bounce back like physically sometimes? But they also kind of forget that father time or whatever is not working in their favor either. They're getting older. So it's not even sometimes can they get back to this same, physically fit, 25, 26-year-old body can do or whatever. Well, now Pedroia is in, his early 30s, mid-30s.
He's 34, dude.
He's not going to be the same player he was at his healthiest because they're dealing with now these super freak athletes who are their, 24, 25, 26, 27, prime ages. So I think that's another problem for Pedroia, and it just seems like everything's working against him.
Yeah, and the thing is at that age too, when you take so long off from playing, you miss a whole year to get back in that rhythm. It's not so easy as when you're young, I mean, it takes a lot more than just getting a couple of ABs to get back in that rhythm. So, I know that's probably the other thing that people in Boston are freaking out about is because he's only hitting 100, and now he hits the IL with his knee injury, so they're probably, he's washed, which I really don't think he is, because the year before last, 2016, 2017, man, I can't even keep up with my years, but that year before he, got hurt and had the surgery and everything, he hit 297 that year. He was one of the leading hitters on the team.
Yeah.
So, I don't think he's washed. I think it's just taking the time to get back in that rhythm, because you have to remember he did sit out a whole year. Mm-hmm. He's getting his feet back under him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It just sucks to see articles like that, because it does kind of put in perspective that, you got to remember that these guys can't play the game forever. And his forever is coming to an end. Yeah. And that sucks.
And that is the worst part of sports.
And the Bigs, much less the Red Sox, that I just look at that way, the way I do about Pedroia.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, not to kick you while you're down, but it makes me so happy hearing you Red Sox fans already being like, yep, that's it, it's over. because all the Red Sox have been doing, it seems like, is winning.
Dude, that's the city of Boston, man. That's
the city of Boston. Just
city of winners.
Give us
man.
a little bit of time, and that's going to be New York.
Bruins.
New York will be back to the city of champions. We got a little tired from being champions so much. We took a little nap. Let's just wait.
The only champion y'all have is the Yankees.
Well, who knows, man? Maybe the Islanders. I mean, I really don't like the Islanders, but just because you said that, maybe the Islanders.
I don't know, dude. You think the Knicks are going to make a comeback?
I mean,
unless they get KD, they're going nowhere.
We've suffered so much.
You got to go through the Bucks in the East. You got to go through Giannis. You got to go through the Raptors. If they keep Kawhi.
Yeah, but if they do get KD, they do get Zion, they get the first overall pick. I mean, this is gonna be a whole new era in New York, and I'm excited. You know what else I'm excited for? Tom Brady. I want him out. I want all these guys out. I want Boston to just never see the playoffs in any sport again. Just because, like, usually I would be like, you know what, man? It's like, whatever. I'm not going to worry about Boston. Let's just focus on my thing. But no. Now that we have this episode coming in and it's all, New York, Boston.
Oh,
yeah, you know what, dude?
Pumping it up.
I just hope Boston, they just never win anything again. And I'm going to love it.
I can't wait for the next Red Sox Yankees series podcast.
I can't wait too. And the Yanks I think the next one's gonna be overseas, right? They play in London.
Is that when the next one is? I know they play in London, but I thought they had one in between.
I think they might have one in between.
They went to Boston before they go there.
I think they do have probably that would make more sense. But either way, man, I can't wait for another one, dude. For another one of these rivalry podcasts. I think that's what I'm gonna title this one. This is going to be the rivalry. This is going to be our little segment for Yankees Red Sox.
What is this? We go to Yankee Stadium 3 more times before... And then we get 2 games in Fenway against y'all before we go to London.
Oh,
is this the London game?
I can't wait.
What? No, I'm wrong.
So
we don't even play y'all in Fenway before London.
Oh my God!
Like Yankee Stadium 6 times.
This is amazing. I literally cannot wait for the next time we have a rivalry episode.
Can we just talk about the joke of a schedule the Red Sox had to start the season? How do you start the season on an 11-game road trip?
I love it. Whoever made the schedule, I want to shake your hand. I want to shake your hand. Whoever makes that will be scheduled.
That's a conspiracy in the MLB. They saw how good the Red Sox were last year, so they said, you know what? Let's start them on the road so that they can't be as good this year. They start slow before they gradually get better. Because we can't just have them out here embarrassing teams like the way they did last year. That's the conspiracy, man.
But who did they start? Who did they start playing first?
Without getting your ring.
They had the Mariners. The Mariners. I mean, that's like a warm-up game. That's like they're like tossing them.
That's supposed to be the game you play in June when you're already up 10 games in the division. And you just walk in and it's just a cakewalk.
And bro, Tim Beckham. He won like 8 for his first 10.
Yeah, he already has like 10 jacks, 20 jacks. He's leading the league.
Dude, good for him.
Almost.
Yeah, I think it might be. Is it? I think maybe Chris Davis right now.
Something stupid. It's something stupid.
Yeah. But
he was like a first overall pick.
Yeah, he was in 2008.
He's finally coming into his own, so that's good for him, dude.
I know, about time.
It's good to see guys like that.
Yeah.
They struggle.
The Baltimore Orioles, Chris Davis.
Figure it out.
It's good to see guys like that. Like, I'm glad Baltimore Orioles, Chris Davis got his hits, because that must have been very tough mentally, waking up every morning just being like, am I going to get a hit today?
And you know what sucks about that too? Because like you read the media and you see all these guys, saying, talking about his struggles. But the thing is like people don't realize that because the big thing was about how much money he was still owed.
Right.
But people don't realize that guy actually cares. Like he's beating himself up more than you guys are beating him up, and he's dealing with demons in his head about not getting hits. Of course. And he's having to walk in that clubhouse every day, knowing he's the highest paid player and he's the veteran and he's supposed to be setting.
And that's the worst feeling to have. That is worse than anything.
For all these other guys, and he's out there stinking the place up. So, people are acting like he doesn't care, but I guarantee you he cares more than anybody, and that bothered him
And dude,
more than anybody, that he wasn't able to produce at the level that he was getting paid to produce at.
And dude, I feel so bad for him also, because if you ever just talk to another person about Chris Davis, there is a 99% chance either his contract's coming up and someone's going to say how he doesn't deserve that money, or B, how the guy can't hit anything and you're going to be like, oh, but he went 0 for 51 or whatever. Something like that is going to come up. And it's sad to think that his whole career might be negatively blemished forever.
It's going to be remembered for
terrible
this
contract and 0 for 51 or 54, whatever it was. And that is just not the way you want to remember your career. Because let's not forget, he had 2 really good seasons where he was one of the best first basemen in baseball.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm looking up his baseball reference because, dude, he had like 4 years of
he was
40-plus home runs.
Right, he was always kind of home run or strikeout, but I believe he had 2 All-Star appearances.
Yeah, dude, 2 All-Star games, and he went 33, 53, 26, 47, and 38.
It's not like the guy was just a random guy that they just needed, and he had one good year, and they kind of paid him. He had good seasons.
The year he got 38, he had 38 bombs. That was in 16. I think that's the year he got his extension too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like he's literally just having one bad year.
But
2 bad years because he sucked last year too.
But the only promise this last bad year and however many games we're in this season is it is so bad. It's like borderline sad.
Everyone's gonna remember him by.
And that,
which is a shame.
No one's gonna remember all the good he's done. However many years he's been playing, they're gonna forget all those number of decent baseball at least, and they're just gonna remember this span of really unfortunate hitting.
The dude is 12 home runs. No, 16 home runs away from 300. So and that's in a 10-year career. So
that's 30 home runs a year average.
Yeah, it's 30 home runs a year. So
and that's incredible.
Can't say that the guy hasn't produced.
Right.
It's a shame. It's a shame he got as much heat as he did.
Uh-huh.
And
it's not his.
It's just irritating when people can't step back and look at it from his perspective, and they just want to bash him.
It's not his fault when they say the massive contract. If you got offered a ton of money,
same thing.
If the Yankees offered me a massive deal, I'm taking it. And guess what, guys? I'm stepping up to bat, and it's not going to be good. It's just not going to be good. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a real confident guy. I have a lot of people tell me that my confidence is admirable. Don't want to be cocky. Always want to be humble. But you got to have confidence. But I know willingly, at my 19-year-old age, that if the Yankees give me a contract, yes, I'm signing the dotted line. I'm leaving school. Goodbye. And I'm going to play. But don't get mad at me because I'm warning you guys. I'm warning.
While we're on this contract situation, have you been talking with the Red Sox about my future?
Yeah,
I'm seeing that they could use some help now. So,
yeah. So the thing was,
I know you're not rooting for the Red Sox, but this is more
about
the Red Sox. This is more about taking care of your boy.
Right. Of course.
Number one client.
Dude, brothers got to eat.
What's the deal on the street?
Right. Well, you see, dude, brothers got to eat. We all got to eat together. So of course that's my first concern. But I had to wait till after the Yankees-Red Sox series because could not have you come in and absolutely torch my Yankees because then that's being a bad Yankee fan. And I'm a little bit of a double agent, so I got to play both sides. But anyway, dude, I was talking the other day. I think it was yesterday after the Yankee game, after Gardner's Grand Slam. And we were talking. I want.
Kick me when I'm down. The way I see it, if the Yankees are that good, then they can't sign me because there's just no room for me to play. I would never get on the field if they're that good.
Wait, what? The Yankees?
Yeah.
No, I'm looking for the Red Sox right now.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm fighting both sides too. I'm looking at it from your perspective. If you wanted me to play for the Yankees, I couldn't because they're just too good that nowhere I could fill in. And the Red Sox clearly have a hole. If Pedroia is going to go down, who better than to replace him than me Put a little
But
spark in that lineup. Teach them how to hit again. I mean, I'm not going to drop bombs, but hey, we're going to play with some energy. We're going to get on base, and we're going to drive in runs.
dude,
And you know what? I think JD, Mookie, Xander, I think they could use a little fire under their butts.
dude, I have two things to say about that. First off, the only problem is with the Red Sox, man, is I'm looking at a 10-year, 500 mil, and they said, listen, we'll go 5-year, 250 mil, and I know that's like equivalently the same per year, but I'm like, nah, we want the monetary value, and we want no opt-outs, no guarantee. We want the full money in full. So that's the first problem there with the Red Sox. Give me a little bit of a hard time. And then, secondly, what I wanted to say about you saying, you're going to, get hits, put the ball in play. If you look at some of the best players in baseball, I was actually thinking about it today. I was I think like Luke Voit, he had like 3 straight line drives and they were outs or whatever. And I was thinking, if I'm a coach or something like that, as long as you're not striking out or swinging at junk pitches, how could you be mad at a guy constantly putting the ball in play? Because sometimes it's just unluckiness. And you look at the best players in baseball, and they might have like kind of down years or something, or maybe their average isn't spectacular. Like it might be right around the 300 range, which is obviously still great, but it might not be enough to win like an MVP type of thing. But the best players that are hitting maybe 310, 315, and are all-stars every year, there's a direct correlation with their average being as high as possible with the least amount of strikeouts. Because when you put the ball in play, good things happen. On base percentage always goes up, and even if let's say it's not a hit, let's say it's like a sacrifice fly, you're contributing for your team. So I think sometimes people forget that. I will never be upset if a guy, even if it's a hard ground ball to short, it's a lot better than striking out because who knows what could happen.
I love everything you just said.
Thank you.
I wish more coaches would think that way because, first off, I went on a rant about this the other day. But to me, there's no such thing as a slump. Essentially, a slump to me is you really need to take a step back and look at your at-bats because if you're 0 for 20, a lot of guys want to look at it and they want to look at the numerical value of it and they want to look at 0 for 20. But really, what are your at-bats like? Because you could have lined out 20 times at a guy and that's why you're 0 for 20. So if you're hitting 20 line drives, why are you complaining about that? If you're having quality at-bats, why are you complaining about that? If you're hit 20 sac flies in a row, even though it doesn't count as an official at bat. But you're thinking you're 0 for 20, you're driving in a run, so you're helping your team. So for me, I don't think there's such a thing as a slump. That's really my philosophy. But yes, dude, I wish more coaches would think that way because if you're, and that's the problem I have with the major leagues right now is because strikeouts are acceptable. It's acceptable to strike out, and it's more acceptable to strike out and have high home run numbers. And I think that's why the offense in the game is down because it's okay to strike out. Whereas, having 200 strikeouts, 5-10 years ago used to be frowned upon. That was, you were not trying to have 200 strikeouts in a season because you weren't going to get paid if you had 200 strikeouts in a season. And, now that's acceptable because if you're hitting 30, 40, 50 home runs, now you're going to get paid.
Right.
But yeah, dude, that's why the Red Sox were so good last year because they put the ball in play, and 2 strikes. They were the best 2-strike hitting team in all of the major leagues because they were tough outs. You weren't going to strike them out because they were going to put the ball in play. You put the ball in play, things happen. Guys make errors. You force them to make plays. You advance runners. You get sacrifice flies. So that's one of the things that just drives me nuts because young coaches in the youth game, the high school game, and the college game, they don't think of it that way. They don't see quality at bats or guys that are struggling. They really may not be struggling because they may be doing things to help the team, as far as getting on base and boosting an on base percentage and, drawing walks, maybe stealing second or sack bunting, sack flying, or moving guys over. Those little things that are essentially what playing baseball is. And, that's what the game has lost because nobody does that anymore. And it's really a shame just to see that this era of baseball that we're in because it's such a power game, power pitching, power hitting, and it just really sucks because we've lost the beauty of the game, with sack bunting, moving guys over, drawing walks, stealing second, sacking a guy in. Those are the things that make baseball fun, I thought, or enjoyable.
Yeah, dude, and I have another, two things to say with that because I completely agree with you there, and also like when you're hitting, I mean, like correct me if I'm wrong, but batting, getting up to bat in baseball is so different than any other sport like type of thing or whatever, I guess, like type of sport action, because you really don't aim. In basketball, you aim for your shot, you aim for your pass. Football, like a quarterback, they aim where they want to throw. In hockey or soccer, they aim their shot. When you're batting, like, yes, it's the hand-eye coordination to get the bat out in front and make contact with the ball, but you're not picking where that ball goes. You
Nope.
almost have no control where the ball goes. And with like shifts and all that stuff now, it's kind of hard for many batters because what used to be maybe a base hit is now a ground out for them. And there's a lot of changing to be going on, and essentially the ball is going to go, and it just depends who's there. If sometimes the defender's in the right spot the right time, or they make a great play on the ball, nothing you can do. So that's my first point, putting the ball in play. And then secondly, dude, strikeout swinging, I don't know if you've heard of this. Like coaches will be like, oh, it's all right, and as long as you strike out swinging, you gave it a shot. And this might be like a super hot take, and people might not agree with me on this, but like I'm the type
I love hot takes. I
Dude.
love I can't, like I said,
controversial stuff,
but
dude.
Confrontational takes.
Yeah, dude. Listen, dude. I'm such a competitive guy. Every single time I went out and played a sport, whether it's like a one-on-one type of thing or it's like baseball, and then it's like one-on-one with the pitcher and the batter, I take it personally. I'm a super competitive
you're
guy.
To win. You're trying to be the best guy out there.
Dude, I hate the whole idea of like participation trophies. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, don't
And
even
to
get me
me,
started,
like
dude.
the strikeout swing thing,
you either win or you lose.
right? That's like the participation trophy for me because, some kid who might not be very good, and I think just kind of like a confidence thing to get him going is, well, as long as you just swing the bat type of thing, then, that's fine, man. You tried your best. At the same time, though, you're out there to hit the ball. Like, that's the game of baseball. So if you take it out from a professional standpoint, with my mentality is if I see a guy strike out swinging, that's not good enough for me. I'm not like, well, he tried. This is 7-year-old T-ball or baseball or whatever. You're a major league athlete. You're supposed to put the ball in a play. Like I said, I'm not going to get mad if you hit a hard ground ball to short. But if the Yankees strike out, dude, 15 times in a game and it's all swinging strikeouts, I'm still going to be pissed. I'm going to be just as pissed. Like if it's bases loaded and it's a 3-2 count, 2 outs, and he swings and misses, I'm going to be just as pissed if he takes the pitch and it's strike 3. So,
yeah, because a strikeout's still a strikeout at the end of the day.
Right. And I'm not like trying to.
If you put the ball in play on those bases loaded situation, you might score a run.
And
you never know.
And I'm not saying it's not their fault. I get it, especially in Major League Baseball, they are trying their hardest, and even if they swing and miss, they might get fooled on a breaking ball, or they might have, it was a heater, they were late on it, but this is your job is to put the ball into play, and I think a lot of people kind of get the idea from a young age. It's, well, if I strike out swing, I tried my best, I get my participation trophy, and everyone's happy, but at the same time, if you strike out bases loaded and you're in the majors, I don't know this feeling, I'll never know it, but I feel like it still has to be pretty pissy. I feel like they don't go back to the dugout a lot of times. A lot of times they take their batting gloves off right in front and they have, someone bring out their hat and glove. I feel like I would not want to go back into the dugout after striking out bases loaded with 2 outs.
Yeah, man, and I want to kind of jump back on the control what you can control and the shift thing. My thing, what I always tell guys, is the only thing here we go again. The only 2 things you can control in the game is throwing the ball as a pitcher or as a fielder, and swinging the bat as a batter.
Right.
Once the ball leaves your hand, or once the ball leaves your bat, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't control the outcome or where the ball goes or how far it travels. So all you can do is give your best effort, put your best swing on the ball, put your best mechanics into throwing the ball, and hope for the best. And whatever happens after that, you have to live with, and you can't get pissy about it. Like that's the game. That's how the game is. And so exactly, it's not like shooting a basketball or throwing a football, and that's what makes this game so great.
Right.
And that's also what makes it so difficult, because you have such limited control while also having so much control at the same time on what the outcome actually is. And like, but going back to the shifts thing, dude, like I'm on board with the shifts. I'm on board with the shifts that we were playing the game that was played 10 years ago. I'm not on board with the shift that we're playing in this era, because in this era, you know, average doesn't hold weight anymore. And, you know, my thing is, if a guy's going to shift on you and you're a left-handed batter, why not just lay down a drag bunt to the left side? But the problem is that, you know, with all these analytics and stuff, and the way these contracts are going in free agency and the way front offices are viewing this stuff, is that if a guy's a home run hitter, or especially for guys that are home run hitters, because, you know, so many guys are getting paid based on home runs, but them hitting a home run, hitting one more home run versus getting one more base hit holds so much more value than laying down a bunt and helping the team or getting that boost in the average to beat the shift. Whereas if they hit that home run, that may be an extra $1 million or $5 million they're going to get on their next contract. And that's what I don't like, because the analytics are taking away the part of the game, because a home run hitter is getting paid to hit home runs. So he's not going to go up there and lay down a bunt. He's going to go up there and try to hit a home run every time. Unless it's Game 7 of the World Series in the playoffs. And, you know, you need a base runner in the 8th inning. But at that point, you're probably not going to be shifting. So it's irrelevant then. And so that's the thing that bothers me, is just that we've got away from playing the game and really just, dude, the analytics, I don't know, man. I'm torn on analytics because they're so great. They really are great for the game.
But at the same time,
we're using them to control the game.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But and I just do want to just go right back to my point about the strikeout, just because I was just thinking about it, and like, I don't want to have people think like, oh yeah, like, you know, these guys are striking out. Like, why don't you try better? And like I said before, it wouldn't be good if I was out there. But just, you know, the point I want to make, you know, for the young kids listening, is that, you know, you have to have a short memory every single time you step up to the plate, whether you're 4 for 4, 0 for 4, your next at bat, you can't think about it. But just never, if I could leave you with this, and I think this still might be kind of, I don't want to be harsh or whatever, but don't be like content with striking out. You know what I'm saying? If you hit a hard line drive, and you get out, you know what, man? You did the best you could. That's it. Never be content with a participation trophy or a strikeout, because I think like the participation trophies and stuff like that leads to mediocrity, and you should always be striving for your best and striving for greatness, because like we were talking about before the show, you have one life, you have one chance to live it up, so you got to go out there each time, try your best, and do your thing, because there's no room to be content with failure. Really.
And that's the thing that these participation trophies are teaching, is just being content with
mediocre. I feel like.
Yeah, mediocre.
You're gonna strike out. You're gonna have tough times, but it's how you bounce back from it.
Well, and that's the mentality you're supposed to approach your at bat with. Is it's the hunter versus the hunted. You know, it's the tiger versus its prey. Which one are you going to be? Are you going to be the hunter, or are you going to be the hunted? It's you versus the pitcher. Who's going to let them hang more and be the best guy out there? And, you know, and that's the one thing I love, going back to Pedroia. That's the one thing I love about Pedroia. He has that dog in him where you're going to have to kill me to beat me.
Right.
And that was why I always loved him so much, because he reminded me of myself, not only as a kid, but especially who I grew up to be in the game and how I matured. And it just, that's what, you know, participation trophies are teaching people, is that it's okay to be okay.
It's okay to be okay. Exactly.
You know, it's okay to lose.
Which I hate.
It is okay to lose, but you have to learn from losing. You have to learn from that failure.
Right. And I always say, dude, don't define me how I am by my accomplishments. Define me how I am by my failures. Because every accomplishment I have had has come from a failure that I've had to bounce back from and work my ass off for, because it brings me to another quote which I love is, everyone wants to eat, but not everyone wants to hunt.
And we're about to get deep.
Yeah, and
we're about to get deep again, because that's the thing, man, that people are so scared of failure. They're so fearful of it that's why they stay in their little bubble. That's why they stay in their comfort zone, because they're so scared of failing, and they're scared of what everyone else is going to think about them. But they don't realize that failure is what propels them forward. People don't understand that failure is what becomes success. The more times you fail, the more success, the better success you're going to have. And the most successful people in the world will tell you that. Whatever success is defined as to you, in whatever aspect of life that is, whether that's, spiritually, money, family, happiness, whatever. Anyone that has that success that you view that as is going to tell you the same thing, that they failed. Right. No one has a straight path to success where they just, did everything right the first time and never had any hardships. Everyone that has ever done anything absolutely spectacular or gone far has failed over and over and over and over again.
I 100% agree with that. And I think even if you look at, the Yardwork and this podcast, I mean, it took us this has been, almost 2 years of trial and error. And when my cousin AJ, shout out to you, AJ, what's up, brother? But
shout out AJ, sorry you couldn't be here, dude.
Yeah. But when we, had this vision, man.
Hey, then we could talk about the Mets.
Yeah. Dude, when we had this vision, man, I didn't really listen to podcasts. I knew what they were, and I wanted to do this. And we just kept trying and trying. And, the first 100-something episodes, we had, no guests, And then, we had you on the show. Then we had Austin Byler on the show. And we had more guys wanting to come in and join us. And then, brings it back to how we just started the Instagram Yardwork Sports. And it was because you were just kind of dude, who cares, man? Just go for it. Who cares what people think? It's just work your butt off for it, man. It's let's see what happens, and let's just be success driven. It's a crazy journey that life takes you, and it's not going to be, just happiness and sunshine and whatever all the time. But you have to bounce back from your failures, and you have to try to make them into accomplishments that you're proud of.
Yeah, dude, exactly. And I think that's one of my favorite quotes is that I guess everyone can talk about quotes because they're cliche, but how's it go? It's something like, this is bad, I can't even remember it, but it's something about there's no such thing as the perfect time, because the perfect time is right now. But that's exactly what I told you when we were talking about this off air, was that, dude, if you want something, there's no use in waiting for it or preparing for it to do it, because one, you don't even know if you're going to be here that long to do it in the first place, but you're also never going to be fully ready. So why not just jump in now and jump in head first, go through that trial and error.
Have a plan, man. Say a quick prayer and go for it.
If you fail, oh well, you learn from it. You get an experience from it.
Right. And I think, dude, that's the most important thing. You're going to have failures, and it's how you bounce back from it, how you learn from it, and how you keep going.
And that's my biggest thing too with the podcast. I started this podcast, and I truthfully knew nothing about how to start a podcast. For me, I knew I was interested in podcasts because I listened to them, and I've been on multiple ones as guests, y'all's included. And for me, it was just one of those things, man, where I had been talking about it for years, or a year or so, and I kind of was interested in doing it. Didn't really know anything about it. And I had so many just guest appearances in such a short amount of time. And then I had a bunch of kids kind of ask me questions. I had a buddy that recommended, hey, dude, we should do a podcast. And it ultimately just didn't work out where we could do it together just for time management stuff. But it's kind of a lot of stuff just happened all at one time, and it kind of woke me up. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump into it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I like to talk. I like to talk about baseball. I really don't know what I'm going to talk about. Just I know I'm going to talk about baseball, and we're going to see where it goes, and I'm going to put it out there, and if someone listens, great. If they don't, well, I'm going to keep putting episodes out there because I at least like to hear myself talk.
Right.
So I'll listen to it,
I'll listen to myself talk. I'll play it before I go to bed. You guys don't have to listen because this helps me go to bed.
But yeah, dude, that's, same with me, man. I just kind of jumped into it.
Yeah.
And, I don't I know very little about podcasting.
But I think that's also some of the best
Doing what
part,
I
man,
know.
is you learn as you go.
Yeah,
It's
and that's
exciting, you know?
and that's just what you do in life too,
Yeah.
just on a greater scale. You learn
You
every
can
day.
plan your life as best as you as much you know, or as much as you want. You think you can plan everything out. It's not gonna happen, and
Not even close.
you gotta go with the flow. And you know, sometimes, like you said, man, there's gonna be some hardships, gonna be some failures, but you can't just stop trying. You can't just mope around, dude, and just like lay in bed all day, man. You just gotta go with it, and you
Yeah,
gotta just
dude, and
keep pushing.
that's in like 20 years or so, when all these people that are going through the participation trophy phase that we're
Yeah,
in, this generation that we're in the next 20 years, I want to see how these people respond to failed relationships, failed marriages, failed kids going through financial struggles. I want to see how these people respond to that, because that's goes back to the participation trophies. These lessons you learn when you're young about winning and losing, and how to be competitive, and how to be driven, have work ethic, all these values. These are what prepare you for later on in life, where you have to deal with real life situations, deaths,
and dude,
like I said, financial, relationships,
I
health issues, all those kind of things. How are you going to deal with those? Are you just going to lay down and die, lay down and roll
right.
over?
What are you gonna
No,
do?
you're going to want them to improve, but you're not going to have the skill set to improve them, because you haven't learned them along the way.
And dude, I hate like like kids my age, my generation. I'm so blessed and happy that I don't have this mindset. But like so many people that I talk to, they think they're like owed something. Like
Yes, dude.
they're like when things go
Man,
wrong, they're owed.
I'm
like
I'm so glad you have
you
it
don't have
figured
like
out.
I get listen like you don't have to be like soft in life. You don't have to be like a snowflake. Like if like I don't like something, like let's say I go to a restaurant and you know like I don't really like the food, I'm not gonna be like send it back, give me free food. Like I'm not gonna go on Yelp and tattle them. You guys think Michael Jordan or Derek Jeter is going on Yelp to tattle on a restaurant? It's like
Yeah.
no, I maybe I picked the wrong thing. It wasn't very good. I messed up. Let's get out of here, type of
Yeah.
thing.
So maybe you just don't go there again, or maybe you go there again and you order something new.
Right,
If it's not good the
exactly.
second time, then you learn your lesson not
You
to go
don't
there again.
you don't
But
just
yeah, this
tattletale.
crybaby
You're not
stuff
owed something. You're
is
not owed free dessert. That's not how it works. You can't go through life thinking when you have the slightest inconvenience, as maybe your dinner's not as good, to feel like you're owed something and be entitled for something, because that's not how life works.
bro. I can't stand that, because I know
You know?
adults that are like that too. That they're con artists, and they just look for every little escape to get something from everybody. And it's a horrible quality to have,
Yeah.
and really a lot of people can see right through that.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm so glad that you, as a 19-year-old, you're 19, right?
Yeah, 19,
You got
19.
that? Yeah, that's what I
Appreciate.
thought. That's
Yeah,
what I thought
yeah.
you said. For some reason, that sounded so young when I said it.
Yeah.
God, you are young. But dude, as a 19-year-old man, the next 5 years of your life going through college, and then your first few years out of college,
Yeah.
dude, you're gonna be amazed of where you are versus where all
Appreciate
of
that.
your friends are. If
Yeah.
you stay in that mindset, you stay on that path, dude, you're gonna be somewhere special with
I
that
appreciate it.
mindset.
I mean, like, not to like hype myself up or whatever, but
No, bro,
I
hype
dude,
yourself up. I'm hyping you up.
I do appreciate when I have people, especially like kids my age, when they tell me like they're like, wow, like I wish I could do what you're doing. Like you're surprising people. Like you're actually doing something while you're still in school for the future. You're not just like getting by with grades or you're just not really worried and you're just partying every night. It's like you actually have a mindset to succeed and you're actually doing it. You know.
Bro,
So
and
I
that's
do
that's one of the
appreciate
things
hearing
too that I
that.
learned when I was in junior college and college, is that you're gonna have people that are gonna talk crap or give you crap about what you're
Yeah.
doing, and the ways you go about doing it, because you're trying to find ways for yourself to
And
be
people
successful and
hate
to learn
people
and
who are
grow.
different.
But the thing is when you see people, those same people that want to say stuff, but they're there
Hmm.
mocking you or copying you, or they start taking up the same actions as you. They're doing that because deep down they respect
Right.
you, and they want to do the same things that you do. That was one of the things, dude, I noticed when I was in junior college, when I got redshirted.
Hmm.
And you know I was getting up at 5 a.m. every day to go to the gym because I was still practicing with the team and traveling with the team. But I was making sure I got my own work done first, and then getting my early work done at the field before going into a full practice with the team. I started noticing there was more guys that would start showing up at the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, but these were the same guys that were giving me crap about why are you waking up at 5 in the morning in the middle of the season. But yet, come down a month or two in the season, all of a sudden 3 or 4 guys are starting to show up. And it's just one of those things you notice in the back of your mind. You don't have to say anything about it, but you notice these guys that they truly respect you deep down.
Yeah.
Because they're repeating your same actions. It's a pride, it's an ego thing that gets in the way where they just can't admit it. So they want to give you crap, they want to just mess with you, but really they're trying to emulate you to do the same things you're doing to get to where you are. So that's just a sign of respect.
Yeah, dude. And I feel like people don't like people who are different, whether it's just like a jealousy thing or they don't want to don't want to admit it, man. If there's like the slightest abnormality, like maybe like I know not many other 19-year-old kids probably have this crazy dream to start a podcast. I mean, I think I was like 17 at the time. Not many kids like thought that, and I did not want to tell people. I was doing like quietly in my dorm at the time because at first I was nervous at the stuff they would say, and just that with time I was like, man, who cares? Like if people, the slightest, different, like just because like I might be a little different with my mindset, that like I have this crazy dream and you guys don't agree with it, it's like that's not the people I want to be surrounded with. So what do I really care what they do, what they say? And now, I mean, sometimes I get I do get a little annoyed when I get some stuff from heat from people. I just kind of just shake it off, and I'm like, you know what, man, and like this is kind of my thing, and I leave it at that. And then it feels good, like I said, when people notice it, and I'm like, yeah, like I have professional athletes on my show all the time. I got pro baseball players, and I'm like, I got my guy Carson Lee coming on the show all the time. And then they're like, oh, like that's dope. They're like, you're so lucky you get to talk to these guys, this and that. And I'm like, yeah, like I am pretty lucky to have these guys, but I also do work like super hard. Like there's a ton of stuff even behind the scenes that they don't see from, because I know like, you're starting, you have the podcast now, and you're, creating your own brand on social media on Instagram. I think I saw you're like over 25,000 followers, so congrats, man.
Thanks,
but
man.
They don't
just hit it.
They don't see all the behind the scenes work that we put into. And then on top of it, dude, you're also playing pro baseball. So there's a ton of stuff that people don't always understand, and they're so quick to mock you until they understand. Like when they don't understand, they just think it's different, or they might think it's like weird. They're so quick to mock you until they see all the hard work and like I guess the legitness of what you're doing and what you're trying to continue.
Yeah, man, and I want to piggyback off that real quick because I want you to remember what I told you that my dad said about you from when he was listening to the podcast, and he said that you have a future in radio or broadcasting or something.
Dude, I think about that
of the way you were
all
able
the time
to once again, here we go, having a brain fart, but just the way you were able to to talk about your message that you're trying to get out there. You're able to talk about sports. So I don't want you to forget that.
Dude, I think about that all the time, dude. Like my whole family, dude, they like because they're invested in it. It's me and AJ, my cousin, so my whole family's invested in it, and like we always talk about the guys that we have on, and they all listen. So like, dude, they know Carson Lee, man. They know. They're like, oh yeah, that guy Carson Lee.
To the Yardwork family.
Yeah, they're like, you had we see in the titles, Carson Lee on the show. Like, yeah, you have Carson Lee back on. It's always a great episode when you guys are on there, and I'm like, yeah. And I'll be like, and even his dad, or as you said, they were saying some real nice things, and I was like, it feels good when you hear that support from someone you don't even know, and coming from your dad, and someone that we have a lot of respect for you and your family. So it always feels good, and I want you to know that it's not something that I threw away. It's in the back of my mind always.
Yeah, no, I know. I wanted to pick up that.
I know.
It's one of those things though too, man. You gotta know that what you're doing now, despite what people say or whatever, man, whatever they think, who cares? Because, in this world, who wants to be normal and who wants to be someone that just blends in? Why not be unique? Why not be weird? And why not leave a legacy or leave an impact on people that when you're gone, people are going to remember you as more than just another person. Or another number that was here on Earth. But what you're doing, what you don't realize is that you're building a future resume for yourself.
Yeah.
Because in 5 years, when you're trying to get a job in broadcasting or communications or radio, whatever you want to do, you have this podcast to use as your credibility, as something you can put on your resume, as a head start. Whereas someone else that's just graduating with a degree, you're going to be one up on them.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that.
I hope any kid that's listening to this too, whether they're freaking elementary, middle school, whatever, or high school, college, man, I hope that this kind of shifts their mindset, because we've gotten really deep here, and I love it, because I love having conversations like this. But I hope this kind of shifts their mindset to where they can, because you gotta understand, like I was telling you before the show, that no matter what you do, there's going to be someone that's going to hate on what you're doing. You're not going to be able to please everybody. So if that's the case, if you can realize that and you can get comfortable in that mindset, comfortable in that feeling, then why not just do what you want to do? And who cares about the people that don't believe in it or don't support it? You don't want them in your corner to begin with. Those aren't the people you want supporting you, because you're not getting their full support and you're not getting it for the right reasons. So, if you got a dream, dude, fuck. I almost dropped the F-bomb. Dude, that's how you know I'm getting deep.
We're getting deep,
bro. Just dropping F-bombs. But yeah, dude, I'm freaking hyped having this conversation.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, if you have a dream, freaking go at it. Who cares?
Go at it.
It doesn't even have to be in sports, just in life.
Right.
Freaking go at it relentlessly. If you fail, dust yourself off and try again, and keep trying and keep learning from those failures. And who cares what the naysayers are saying? But do something every day that's allowing you to get better, allowing you to get closer to that dream. Stay freaking tunnel vision towards what you're doing. And once again, man, when you look back at the end of 30 days, 60 days, a year, and you see how much farther along and better you are, you're going to look at the people that are mocking you or making fun of you. Like, you're going to realize you're farther along than them. But you have to also realize that these people that are mocking you or making fun of you, they're doing it because they have their own insecurities, their own problems, where they're doing it to make themselves feel comfortable, because they don't have the guts, they don't have the pride that they can go in and do the same thing that you're doing. So they mock you to make themselves feel better, because they're insecure about not being able to do it themselves.
And you know what, though? And, I love everything you just said, man. And I always say, too, is, I think, I try to be, above and beyond. I try to be, a real nice guy. I think that is so important, is that to be nice to everyone. And that's, also one of the messages I want to convey out here. So sometimes, if you might get someone who kind of mocks you, or they kind of question it, it's you don't have to be mean. You could just kind of check it out, listen to it, because I try not to, at least. Sometimes we joke around and I'm like, boo, Red Sox, this and that, and someone from Boston might be crying right now. But all joking aside, the message I have for this is I want to help people and I want to help inspire the world. And so I'm trying to, have this, positive outlook on everything. So sometimes when I hear that negativity back, it's what did I kind of do to make you think that, think something negative about it? And you just kind of got to brush it off, man, because you're not going to please everyone. And for the people that, you do reach, it's a awesome thing.
Yeah, dude, and that's I completely agree with what you just said, because that's the thing, is you have to remember that you're never too important to be nice to people.
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
100%.
You're just another person on this earth that can die at any time. And, regardless if I'm making independent baseball money or if I really was making $500 million in the show, I would not change who I am. Because who I am has a greater impact on people than the amount of money I'm making or my status or any of those things. And, if someone's gonna mock you or give you crap, honestly, the biggest or the best thing that you can do, or that I do, that I enjoy doing it. They may not realize I'm doing it back. Yeah, I'm nice to them, but I play along with it. I go along with what they're saying. And you think I suck? Yeah, you're right. I suck. Yeah,
I suck.
You getting up early and going to work out, before whatever, that's stupid. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I agree. I don't know why I'm doing it, but play along with it.
Right.
And feed into them because they're not expecting you to come back that way.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you'll catch them off guard, but you're still being nice at the same time. You're not being a jerk to them. And I'm not encouraging to be a jerk. I'm encouraging what you just said too. Be nice to people.
And
but, if you can play back into that game with them, dude, like you'll catch them off guard, and it's kind of fun on your part to do that and just to see their reaction because they're not expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've kind of caught some shade from starting this podcast from various people, and whether it's good or bad, I don't know. I'm just doing it, like I said, just to talk and try to relay information. But, if someone says it sucks or whatever, I kind of just play along with it. Like, yeah, you're right. I don't know what I was thinking making that episode or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, people are going to think what they want to think. So why spend the time worrying about them?
Right.
Why not just do what you want to do? Because
100%.
you don't want to look back in a year or 5 years or 10 years and look at all the time you wasted and all the things you could have been doing that you decided not to do because you're worried about what someone thought.
Yeah. 100%, because I think like we've just been saying of the last couple of minutes, that we've been in like this real deep part of the podcast, man, is you're not gonna please everyone, and every night when your head hits the pillow, it's again, not in a cocky way, but was I happy today? Did I do the best I could today? Am I proud of myself for what I did? And then if you answer all those questions positively, then when you have that kind of like self-pride and that self-love, which is greater than anything, I think, in the world, who cares what a couple haters say, man? Because like I said, man, people say stuff to me, man. It's like, yeah, well, you're at home on the couch, man, and I'm gonna be putting up to my guy Carson Lee's game in a couple months, and we're gonna be out here in Pennsylvania, bro. Might throw out the first pitch. I don't know how that's going to go. I might just walk on the field and a security guy's going to truck me, and I'll spend the night in the slammer, whatever. But, I mean, I'm
bailing you out
as fuel, man. I appreciate that, man. I'll spend
the night in there with you.
Dude, that would be legendary. A live podcast, like a 24-hour challenge in jail. We'd go viral. It would 100% go viral. No way that wouldn't.
Dude. Yes, have to sneak in our phones some way and just do a voice memo the whole time.
That would be incredible.
that would be epic.
That would be great, dude. But when you're going to be in Pennsylvania for this summer, I think you said it was like the first times in like a month. It's like May 20-something. The first time in early June. We're definitely going to catch a game for sure. Because I think I'm going to be like not going to have many practices. School's going to be out. I can get out of work. So definitely got to see AJ, whatever works best for us. And we're definitely going to catch a game or two when that weekend span. And we're going to go absolutely nuts. It's going to be insane.
Yeah, bro. I hope you guys are able to make it out. I think that would be so sick.
We're going to do everything we can.
22nd and 23rd of May.
Mm-hmm. We're going to do everything that we can. I don't know AJ's schedule like 100%, dude, but like if there's like a 99% chance, dude, that I will walk there, dude, if I have to. Like, I'm going to catch a game. It's going to be so dope, and we're going to get another collab. Hopefully, when that day does come, and like I'm super pumped for it, man.
Bro, I will buy you an Uber if I have to. I don't care. You're gonna be at that game,
dude. That's a fact. I will be there.
Bro, our next collab is May 30th and 31st. That's the guaranteed one because that's when we play you guys again.
So that's a while too,
in
bro.
New York.
That's a long time to go with the collab. I think we're gonna need like a week before pit stop on the field collab. Dude, as you're like taking grounders, I'll be like have my mic just like sitting there during the game. Be like, so Carson, like, what do you think about this one? I'm like, oh man, I'm in the middle of a game. You feel the grounder, like, all right, I'm good.
I
man.
need one of those ESPN setups where
when you're mic'd up
on field and you're just recording in the stands.
Yeah, dude, that would be incredible. We gotta look into that. We got like you don't like no one will even know, like you just slip it under your shirt or whatever. No one has to hear. You have the wire and you're just like on the field and you're like, yo, Andy, bro, you see that? And then like somebody should be like, what are you saying? And you're like, nothing. Nothing.
Just talking to myself.
Just talking to myself. Just keeping the brain sharp. All right, let's go, guys. 2 outs.
I love it, dude. I love it, man.
That would
That's
be
awesome.
incredible.
That'd be so epic.
Dude, and I gotta say one thing, because on my recording thing, we hit the 70-minute mark just now. And
Holy cow,
what's
dude.
incredible about this episode is the only show notes I have on my thing is just Yank sweep. That is all I have written in my journal. And we got 70 minutes from that. That is incredible. And I feel like I can go on for another like 7 hours.
Bro, I told you off air that this was going to be a complete no notes, no script show. I didn't even have anything down. I just knew we were talking about Red Sox Yankees, and I kind of was just going to go with the flow. And we were lighthearted, but we also got dark.
We got a little deep. We had some good jokes in the beginning. We were laughing a bit, but like it's like
we set it up for the end of the podcast,
and it's so like just genuine. When you don't have notes and it's just two guys just back and forth having a conversation. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, we've been doing this for an hour and 10 minutes. And it's like, we have so much more to talk about. And like, sometimes people don't understand, like, it's not scripted this, man. You can't make this stuff up.
And that's my biggest thing is I'm learning here, with the podcast here these first few weeks is because I've been trying to have a script, kind of have an understanding of what I'm going to talk about, just very broad points.
Right. Yeah.
But it's about making those transitions from going from point to point, but also staying in a respectable time length. And dude, people don't understand how hard it is. First off, to come up with a script,
right? To
do the research and figure out what you want to ask a specific guy and what road you want to go down, and then to not get carried away, during those times, because that's what I told Austin, man, when we got off air. And I ended up doing his podcast, and we talked about it on his show too. But there were so many times because of his story that I was trying to get across to people that are listening, to kids, high school guys, or college or whatever. That there were so many times when I had my questions I was asking him, and then something just organic came up, and I wanted to just completely go down that road, but I really couldn't because it was going to take up too much time for what I wanted to cover. But, like, that's the biggest thing I'm trying to learn is just how to kind of, like, juggle both sides of it. Staying to a script, but also being as organic as possible and just kind of going with the flow, man. It's tough.
It is tough. And I got to say, because actually on Saturday, I also was on Austin Byler's show. I recorded, I don't know when he said that one's coming out. But it was, like, the same thing, dude. Like, I actually don't even know how long the time was, but it was probably close to an hour of talking, maybe 40, 45 minutes. And the thing is, like, I had no notes because I was a guest, which was kind of weird for me. And then secondly was, like, how smooth he was, because he started bringing up stuff from the show that like we were just talking about right before. Like, I don't know how he was able to write that in the script and plan all that out. And for him to do that, I was just kind of like, how did he get those smooth transitions? And he's doing a real awesome job with the Byler Bombs podcast. Yeah, so dude, that was awesome Byler to be a part of.
Freaking Major League University, dude.
Yeah.
The thing is, man, I love this whole little network we have between you, me,
it's
Austin,
incredible.
And Robbie. Like, dude, it's so much great content.
It's insane.
Especially between Robbie's side, man. Things Robbie's doing. I feel like I'm slacking on my end, but I keep saying, now that baseball season's here, we're gonna pick up. I'm actually doing a giveaway on my Instagram here in this next week. I have a broken bat and a pair of batting gloves that I'm gonna do a giveaway with.
That's awesome.
So whoever's listening to this,
you got early
be
jump.
On the lookout for
Sneak
that.
peek.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that.
But even going back to, like we were saying, this connection we have, it's like a massive, like, however many headed monster, and we just kind of feed off each other.
It's a fraternity, man.
Right, and it's awesome to be a part of, and because it goes so much farther than just like baseball and stuff like that. Because like when Robbie Road, he was in New York getting I think it was his labrum, I think it was, when he was getting like a second opinion on it or something. He was like asking me like good places to go eat. Like that is bigger than baseball, and getting to tell me like some good places to eat and him check it out. It's like that's awesome, and kind of like you said, the fraternity and like the brotherhood of the connections that like we've got to make with each other has just been extremely special.
Exactly, bro. Like you're no longer just another podcast host, man. You're my friend.
Appreciate that. And brother, bro. And brother, same birthday, man. Twins.
And because of this the podcasting with each other.
So I appreciate that, man. Because like I say, like I'm not on the same level as you guys. You guys are professional athletes, and I'm probably never gonna have that chance to be a professional athlete. But to hear, I'm like a friend of you guys, and you guys, value my time. It feels so good because it almost feels like all that failure of not getting to exactly where I want to be, I kind of made up for it with this, and it led me down this path. Like we say, dude, life's a crazy journey. When one door closes, another one opens, and it's led me to this, and then just to be able to talk to, my new friends, my new brothers I met, it's insane.
Well, we're literally brothers. You guys remember that.
Twins, same birthday. Same exact thing, man. I was thinking about it, dude, when it's our birthday, when October 5th rolls around, we could have like some crazy birthday bash or something.
Bro,
like it's going to be nuts. We got to
meet up, so we need to go out of town and just get away for the weekend.
Have to, bro. You name a city, bro. Let's just like throw a dart into a globe, bro, and wherever it lands, we're going.
That's a little dramatic. You got to remember the salary that we're both.
You got to remember my salary too is a college.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The salary we're both bringing in. We have the college student and we have the independent baseball player. But hey, you know what? We can.
We'll start a GoFundMe. Yeah. We'll start a GoFundMe.
How about we start with throwing a dart in the United States?
Throwing a dart, or like
Next year when I get that $500 million contract, we'll throw a dart at a goal.
Or like if you're still like in Kentucky or whatever, man, we'll throw like a dart in like Northeast America, and we'll go there.
We'll go to Connecticut or West Virginia, something like that, man.
Something
we'll just
crazy,
find something out there and make a good time.
We'll tip a cow or something. I don't know.
That's just something to make memories, man.
That's
what it's about.
That is, man. But
that's what it's about.
Yeah, man. This was a good one, man. Is that what we're doing? I don't know. I mean, I have
one thing we didn't talk about. We didn't talk about how we were going to sign off this show.
See, my only thing is my podcast, my app only lets me go to 90 minutes, and I'm at 77 and a half. So we're getting close to when this thing just like cuts out. I mean,
so wait. If you're listening and this thing just goes out, you know what happened. Don't blame it on us.
I actually have another thing I wanted to bring up, dude. Was there was a Instagram like meme I saw, and it was like a poster of like these like three like friends like sitting around a table like laughing. It was like a stupid poster, and like some kid is like close to the wall like smiling, and it's like this is what a podcast is like. It's like you're kind of listening to the conversations and like people having a good time. And I was like, dude, that's exactly what it was like when I was listening to the Yours and Austin Byler's podcast, the one I think it was before this or two before this one or whatever. And like you guys were like talking, and I was like talking back to the phone. I'm like, wait, they can't hear me. I'm like, no. I'm like, I have so much to say. And then you were like to Austin, you were like,
I don't know how to do a three-way on Skype, but we need to get a three-way going. We have to.
It would be nuts, dude. And like you asked him, you're like, oh, like you're from Pure, Arizona, or whatever. And Austin Bauer was like, yes, sir. And I was like, I knew that. Point for me. I knew it. I'm like, what is Austin Byler? Jeopardy, double Jeopardy, or whatever.
Give me Austin Byler for 500.
Yeah, Austin Byler for 500. And it was like, where did you go to school? I was like Nevada, Reno, or whatever. I was like, thank you, good night.
Tag him in this because he's getting so many shout outs on this show.
Yeah, he is, dude. We gotta be like, yo, AB, skip to like 17 minutes in, and then we're just like completely just like gassing you up your podcast and stuff like that. Because he is the man.
We're blowing you up, man. Free marketing for everybody.
Free marketing for Major League University and Austin Byler, the boy. But
yes.
Yeah, dude. It was so funny, and I saw that, and like I gotta find that that meme so I could send it to you. because, oh my God, it was so relatable to it.
Bro, that's hilarious.
We have to get that three-way podcast. Dude, and we all have shows, so we can do a freaking, trio collab or whatever.
Dude,
podcast. That would be nuts. And when you have us three, like, on a show together, like, we've never had, like, that 3 FaceTime thing. Like, it's gonna be nuts.
Bro, okay, we're starting a group message tonight.
Start a group message tonight, dude. 100%.
Listeners, this is what you have coming in the future.
Yeah.
You have some fire episodes coming.
You have some fire. Dude, I'm getting giddy
us.
right now, dude. I'm off my chair. I'm jumping around. Let's go, boy. I'm sending the message right now on Instagram. Let's do it.
We're gonna make this happen.
Let's do it.
Doing a group.
This is insane. This is. I can't look at it right now because I have the phone recording because of some technical difficulties. But I got 10 minutes left on this, and then when we wrap it up, man, we're hopping on that, dude. I'm just gonna be spitting fire into the messages.
Yes, bro.
And if you guys are still listening 80 minutes in, I hope you guys are pumped too. I mean, we went from some trashing the Red Sox a little bit. We talked about some deep stuff, some motivational stuff, and now, dude, we're pumped up, dude. It's like one of those like marathon P90X things, dude, like a spin class. Right. We're getting
October 26th. Just wait on it, man. Red Sox will be holding up back-to-back World Series champions.
That's hysterical.
You're
a funny guy.
They're going to be back.
You're a funny guy.
Just give them time.
You're a funny guy, man.
Just give them time. I'm telling you, man, that offense, once it starts clicking, we'll be fine. We need the offense to start clicking. We need the rotation to figure it out, and we'll be fine.
I feel like I took like a 5-hour energy, bro. Like, now I'm just pumped. Like, now I'm just ready to go, man. Ready to unleash some.
Bro, should we just record a 2-part podcast here?
I mean,
just do 2 weeks work, like all in one night.
Dude, let's do like a whole month worth. We're just go on, dude. There's 10 parts. It's 5 in the morning and we're done. We're like, all right, good job. We're like, I'm not gonna put this episode out until All-Star break because we talked about the All-Star game that Judge had, his 2-home run All-Star game. So we're gonna have to wait. That hasn't happened yet.
He's not gonna make the All-Star team.
Whoa, chill with that one.
Bro, you're going to have Trout and Betts.
And Judge.
And then,
Judge.
Let's see.
Judge, thank you.
Who's going to be the third guy?
Judge.
No.
I said Judge.
Get out of here. Get out of here. It'll probably be Raymond Loreno. Is that his name? Raymond?
Oh, Ramon Laureano from the A's.
Yeah, that dude has an absolute hose. He threw out freaking
but no way.
He's not back-to-back nights.
He's not taking out Judge. You crazy? This guy's crazy. You're trying to get back at me from earlier in the show, bro. Oh my God, dude, this is this gotta be a Guinness World Record, dude. Longest show or something.
Bro, I don't know, man. There's some podcasts out there like Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
3 hours long. It's ridiculous.
Dude, crazy stories, but I have signed up for 4 world records. I'm waiting to hear back from them.
Which ones you got?
It's the farthest chicken, a rubber chicken throw. It's 40 yards. I think I might be able to do it. Another one that me and my friend did, it's farthest football throw blindfolded. That Dude Perfect has at 40 yards also, so we got to beat that one. But we think we can do it. They had a good technique going. You wear a helmet so you don't get clocked in the face. You're blindfolded, and you just kind of sit in a squat position with your arms out and hope you got a good tosser that's going to lay it in the basket. So I got that one. Then it's most consecutive days with doing a podcast, and there's no record for this one yet. So I was like, all right, we'll do it. And we went like a 5-day span, last year. So I was like, 5-day span. I was like, let's do that one. So when you're back there, that would be an easy one. And what was the last one? Because I know it was 4 I did. I don't know. I think I signed it with field goal kicking. I think that might have been it, dude. But if I can get on the board as
all it takes is one.
All it takes is one, man. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty proud of my mile time. I can probably run a mile. I mean, my best was what was it? It was 5:03, dude. My
Jeez,
best.
dude, that's hauling.
Right?
My mile is 9 minutes long, let's be honest, dude. I do not run for distance. Dude. I run for a short burst.
So, like, and then there's, like, it's, like, 10 minutes to do a mile with, like, dribbling a basketball. So I'm like, I think I could probably get it in, like, a 7-8 minute range dribbling a basketball. So might have to sign up for that one, too.
Just do it with all these different sporting balls. Maybe you could do, like, bouncing a tennis ball on a tennis racket.
Yeah.
Like, for a whole mile.
For a whole mile. Shoot, that would be tough, dude. It's like, because you mess up one time, it's like the third lap.
And you're restarting.
Oh, my God. That is, like, heartbreaking. So, I don't know, man. We'll have to see, man. Who would think Yardwork Andrew, Dirty Andrew is in the world record books? It just says Dirty Andrew.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You have to put it down like Dirty that. It has to be Yardwork, quotation mark, Dirty Andrew.
That would be hysterical.
That's how it's going down.
That would be.
That's the new name, bro. That's the new name.
I love it, dude. I freaking love it.
I'm so glad we did a collab, dude. This was fun.
This was great.
So freaking fun. This is different. This is a different kind of episode, man, and it was pretty sweet. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, me too, dude. And then, dude, like we've been saying, man, now we get the three-headed monster. Me, you, Austin Byler. We get a show like that. That would be nuts.
Eventually we'll be at a whole round table, man.
Right. And we're just keep elevating our game, man. So this was definitely one of the best episodes I've ever done. And I mean, if you guys still listening at this point, we thank you so much because we know, like, dude, it gets long, but, like, there's some great stuff that we talk about. And, if you guys just take the time, you don't even got to listen to it all in one shot, but you listen to this episode, man, it's going to be, it's good. Like, it's worth your time. I think so, at least.
Yes, and I want to reiterate that thank you guys for the support. Thank you for listening.
Of course.
Especially, thank you for listening to this podcast through its entirety, because I know there are some times where we just kind of ramble on. But like Andrew said at the beginning of the of this kind of ramble of how organic our conversation was, and how we just went on with no script. So we were just talking. We were just having fun with it. So I hope it was entertaining for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. And hey, I hope y'all continue to tune in and support the show and just soaking up the information that we're both giving you guys and just enjoying it along the way.
Dude, even if we get 0 views on this, dude, this is happening again, man. Another trio podcast.
That's gonna be me and you.
Yeah. So we got a lot more stuff coming, and like I said, I want to say thanks to everyone, of course, for listening, because we'd still be doing it, even if we didn't have listeners, but the dream does stay alive and always feels good, and we thank you guys for your support to listen. And my guys, Yardwork people, make sure you guys check out Down the Dirt podcast on iTunes. Check out the guy Carson Lee, he's the man. And thank you guys for listening. I think that's my sign off. I'm Yardwork Andrew, a.k.a. Dirty Andrew. This was the Yardwork. And I think the Yardwork's signing out right now.
and this is me signing off. Once again, I just want to tell you guys thank you. Like I say, I could put out all the content I want, but if you guys don't indulge in it, it doesn't mean anything. So I appreciate you guys for listening. Appreciate you guys for supporting. And once again, as always, man, not only is this collab going to happen again, but I appreciate you guys getting down and dirty with me in the Down in the Dirt podcast. I am Carson Lee, your host, also known as Yardwork Carson.
Let's go.
I'm signing off until next time. Thanks, you guys.
And I actually did not sign. I let that play, so I'm signing off again on my show. Yardwork Andrew, Dirty Andrew. This was the Yardwork. Thanks for listening.